is held and paid in respect.
Move Councillor Kelly, second Councillor Sheen to go into open forum. There's no one for open forum, so I'll move Councillor Nicholson, Councillor David Graham to go back to resume the open meeting. Apologies, Councillor Palmer and Councillor Stewart. Councillor Phillips, he's on. So casually said too. Councillor Phillips and Councillor Stewart. Move. Councillor Palmer, second Councillor Sheen. In favour, carried. Right, so what we're here for today is to make a shortlist recruitment for of 4 councillors to be on the shortlist to be on the recruitment panel with the 2 LG local government New South Wales representatives of Wayne and Christian to shortlist. What the process is, those 4 will be given the applicants. I can let you know there's 12 applicants, 10 applicants, sorry. I can't split them up into, well, I know that there's at least 2 women, but going on the names, there's some others, they could be women or men. So what happens, when we have the short list here today, we get the 4 councillors, myself and Dennis and the other 2 councillors. Penny will have, well, I'll get you to stay back at the end of the meeting. There's a privacy form with Katrina. Privacy form we've got to sign, and Katrina's got a list and the resumes of those 10 applicants to go through. The 2, Wayne and Christian, have done it. They've already done their, basically, what do you call it, assessments and scored the applicants. And the 4 people, the 4 that are on the short list will only get this information. And they have 4 there that they have shortlisted. But that short list, that can change when the 4, whoever we are, speak to them next Wednesday. That'll be done at 5 o'clock next Wednesday at Gundagai, the shortlisting. We'll do that by a hookup. And then the interviews so that'll be Wednesday the 18th at 5 o'clock. And then on Friday the 4th, that's when we'll be handing interview. We'll be doing the interviews with the shortlist people. The 4 of us plus the 2 local government reps. We'll be doing interviews who we've shortlisted. And from that shortlist, there'll become another shortlist. So if it's 4, we're going to interview, whether there's 2 or 3 or 4 even, that we decide to run at those who we shortlist out of the shortlist, go to council and they present to council, and then council as a whole makes the decision. You want to?
Sorry. Tuesday, Wednesday, after we meet next Wednesday, the following
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
no.
the 23rd, 24th, we will meet.
October
and
the 4th,
do our
yes.
shortlist interviews.
Yes.
Friday, the 4th of October will be when they present to the whole of council.
So sorry, what is those dates again? So
Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
No, Wednesday, 5 o'clock.
And then that's the day before and the day of the council.
No, next week, the 4 that are picked here today will meet next Wednesday at 5 o'clock.
The 18th.
Next Wednesday at 5 o'clock.
Got to use your wires.
Next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And that 4, in partnership with the 2 from local government New South Wales, will go through that whole list of 10 applicants and shortlist most likely 4 to interview. That's well, so on the 23rd and 4th, the shortlist from here today, the people on that will then interview with the local government reps. The 4 that we pick, could be 5, as I said, but the 4, say, for example, let's say it's 4 out of the list of 10. And then that group, those 6 people, will then pick another shortlist out of those 4. So it could be 2, it could be 3, it could even be 4. to present to council on Friday, the 4th of October. And that's in front of the full council, and then the full council make the decision at the end of the day. So at the end of the 4 people here today will be doing a short list with the local government representatives. They will do the first round of interviews with the local government representatives, and then from that, in those interviews, we'll pick whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 to then present to council, and council, whole of council will make the decision after that. Dennis and I are on it, the mayor and deputy mayor. It would be good if we could have a lady on it. We can offer it to, if we offer it, say, for example, to Penny and Lee, if you don't want it, we don't have to have a lady, but it's just for the shortlist panel. It's just probably, to be fair, if there are women on it, we've got a woman on the shortlist panel. I don't know how we do it. Look, to make, whether you want to look at one, Dennis and I from one council each, whether one from the old councils, one from either one again, I'm easy. So who would like to nominate for the shortlist interview panel?
I'm happy to do it.
Hey? Yeah.
That gives you 2 from Gundagai.
Yeah.
So that's a suggestion.
Yeah.
But there's a few other issues I'd like to talk about too.
Yeah, well, you want to do that first?
Well,
I'm sorry. I asked, because I knew the question, Charlie, which is it's a fair question. I asked Wayne Noakes today who was allowed to see the applicants and their whole resumes, and he said only the 4 that are on the shortlist.
so I take it from that, only the committee that reviews the shortlist has access to the whole lot.
Yep.
That's correct.
I believe so.
Boy, we've got a sign to this, and if you read it, after the interviews, I think we can only keep, or after 3 months, I think it is, we've got to then destroy everything that we've got, whether it's on email or what. But I think mainly for privacy reasons, Charlie, but I asked him that because I knew it'd be asked, and it's only fair, like if, councillors should to be known, but if...
Yeah, just to see the process as it evolves, it's very hard when we're only presented with like a short list. We don't know. It's up to the panel to make that decision.
That'll be 20 or 30% of the applicants we're going to see.
That is correct. So
But that doesn't have really.
So doesn't that really, aren't you relying on your confidence in the panel to do the right thing?
yeah, I have all confidence in the panel to do the right thing, but it's a matter of following the process. That's what I'm finding a little bit difficult, because ultimately at the end of the day, we're all equally responsible for the employment of the new GM. And it's just, it's something that you can measure if you can see where the selection criteria has been happened. When we don't have privy to that, and we are relying on the panel, that's fair enough to say, it's taking away that little bit of transparency, let's say, that I feel like I'm not seeking to be on the panel, but I would like to be involved in the process.
I probably know what you're saying. Understand where you come from. But I think it's all relates around confidentiality. It's probably not just confidentiality so that we don't have too many people know. I think it's probably confidentiality from those ones that don't get shortlisted, that it doesn't get out and about, that they were on, did put in for a position here and didn't interview. So I think it's not just confidentially from our point of view. I think it's for confidentially from the applicants.
As a way around that, Mr. Mayor, how about if you, the 10 selected, I'm time poor. I'd like to do it, but I've got no time. If the 10 shortlisted back to 5, one of those final 5 come back to the full council and do the interviews.
Mate, I'm just going on what the people that we've employed, which is Local Government New South Wales, advising us as the people that we put there. I think that's where you might as well go back to the process and say, well, what's the use of having a shortlist panel? Yeah, if we're going to go and shortlist the 5 and then interview the 5.
Or you pick the best 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And bring them. Yeah. 4 or 5 or whatever.
It could come back. This is where you probably got to put a bit of faith in the shortlist panel. We could interview 4, and all 4 we could probably decide they should all present to council. But that panel, I think you're putting faith in that shortlist panel. They can say, well, if that person's not going to stand up, and that's the process of how they want it. And I'm only going on what Wayne Noakes has told me.
When I read this, the only issue I had was the bottom line. Following the conduct of the process, the panel would prepare a report, including recruitment recommendations for the consideration of council. So really, that's where I come back to. The council as a whole needs to do that. There's no point. I think it'd be unfair on the other applicants if you 4 come back and say, this is the person we want. I think as a combined council, we need to make that decision.
But at the end of the day, it's the council as a whole.
Yeah, but it's
Not the short. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah,
How they've explained to me, it's the council as a whole.
Yeah.
We've just said short list, basically probably then to get everyone together, just have a short list panel that can go through it, short list it down to whether it's 2, 3 or 4, and then they present to council, and then council makes the decision as a whole.
May I speak? Thank you. It might be the case too. Often, if the panel looking, interviewing the people, have recommendations and say, okay, well, that one's the best and this one's, but, a bit poorer, but they're still all good. And they present to council. Some people can do wonderful presentations, but that they haven't got the substance behind it. So will that recommendation of that selection panel, along with the presentations that go to the whole council, then work to make the decision? That links in with Gil's point about the recommendations from that panel, so that there's a 2-pronged approach to that. Did that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it could be. We guided, we paying the Local Government New South Wales, so we paying them. That's who we've contracted, and I'm only passing on what I spoke to Wayne today. And that's so. At the end of the day, however, that shortlist panel and what they will no doubt be speaking with and having the answer with Wayne, even the day of the interviews, we'll probably meet 2 hours before the first interview, and that's where I think things like that we do speak at, the ones we shortlist.
It was that thing that some people can perform on their feet, but are hopeless with the the practicalities, which the interviews would have showed up. Well, not hopeless, but they can perform, but not necessarily have the substance. So it's the combination of the presentation to council and how they performed in the interview, I would imagine.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Or after they present to council, yeah.
My only concern, Mr. Mayor, is I've been involved in probably over 50 interviews in 10 years with Worth. I'm just worried that we're going to be too quick to discard someone potentially because they don't interview well over the phone, or they come across very good and we include them?
Well, there'll be no phone interviews, I know, but that'll only be if someone doesn't want to come and front up.
But is it just, you don't get a shortlist for the phone hookup?
No. Oh, sorry. We won't be hooking up with the 10 people. No, there's like there's a spreadsheet which they've always, the people, Wayne and Christian, have already assessed what they think out of about, I don't know, there'd be 10 different areas, and they've put it down. And no doubt there's ones in there, and I'm going to ask Christian how many that they'd already know. That have already. So what they do, it's like this. You can't see from there because this is something that just goes to pen. You've got all these what you call them relevant degree or qualifications, etc. along here, essentials and all that, and then they've scored them all down there, each one, and then they've come up with their shortlist, and that is what you will receive, the ones on the shortlist panel, to do that before we even do any interview, or before we do the shortlisting on Wednesday night.
Just if I could, through the chair, would it be prudent for the council to give some direction to the shortlisting committee so that we're not accused of being too harsh or too restrictive, to give us an indication of what percentage they would like to see on the shortlist? 10%, 20%, 50%? So is the General Council happy with 40% of their applicants?
Unless it's a torn and you've got 5.
Through the chair, I just, we are investing wherever we decided to pay local government New South Wales to go through the process for us, and that's their role, right? So at the end of the day, a lot of the responsibility comes back to those two blokes who have received the applications and they're assessing them, and then they come back to us as a shortlist. Otherwise, we might as well not have spent $12,000, whatever we spent, on getting them involved in the first place, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, through the chair, that's well said. And if everybody respects that, we should be fine.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I would acknowledge your comments that it would be pertinent to have 2 women on the committee, but to this meeting I decline that because of personal reasons. But to David, Councillor Graham's point, I reiterate what you have said precisely. We have commissioned or contracted Office of Local Government to do this job, and likewise today we are appointing a panel, and I have complete faith in my fellow councillors, the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor, to act in a manner that is acceptable to me. So I have my faith in whoever is nominated and takes a position today.
Charlie, did you have anything else you want to talk about before we do the panel?
No, I take it that there's also the option to have a suitably qualified person independent of council on the panel, but we have 2 representatives from local government associations, so they're independent of council, and they're filling that role too as another view, another pair of eyes. So,
And you're going to have the 9 councils there. Fair enough.
My apologies. To your point, you were saying that it.
Yeah, so
it may be appropriate that there is two from the from both old councils. So as such, I nominate David Graham in my absence.
No worries. Lee, you're taking one more. Charlie, Gil, you're happy with that? If
I do agree with the mayor. I think we do need a female on this panel.
and why I suggested the other, I just think the issues we have at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, it's going to be council as a whole that's going to make a decision. But at least in this part, when we got four, if we do say, well, we have got, and every, like, I don't care, anyone here can stand up and do the short list and be really good at it. And I just think, at least if we say, well, the short list, we have got one, we got two from previous council, but then it'll come down to the full council to make the decision.
Yeah, I'm happy with that because I've got a lot of work commitments on in the next, like this month, so with sharing and everything. So,
Mr. Mayor, I'd move that way as discussed.
So, present. So it's moved Councillor Palmer, second Councillor Nicholson. The short list, the panel to do the short listing will be the Mayor, Ab McAllister, Deputy Mayor Dennis Palmer, Councillors Lee Bowden and Councillor David Graham. I think there was just. No other business, I declare the meeting closed. And those four, if they can stop behind, we're just going to get some privacy form signed for local government New South Wales. So, Lee,